The engagement, organized by the Media Reform Coordinating Group (MRCG) and partners, sought to identify critical gaps within the existing Act and build consensus on reforms needed to reposition SLBC as a truly independent public broadcaster. The current SLBC Act provides leadership and direction from the corporation, including the delivery of public interest media content and the development of long-term business plans. However, civil society groups and media stakeholders have repeatedly called for the reforms to strengthen transparency, accountability, and editorial independence within the institution. Presenting the draft recommendations, resource person James Tambalebi highlighted 6 key reforms areas proposed for inclusion in the new act. These include governance and representation reforms, focus on establishing an independent board selection process and a transparent appointment system for the Director General. The proposal also recommends the appointment of 2 Deputy Director Generals responsible for administration and editorial operation respectively. On funding and resource allocation, the draft proposed the establishment of public broadcasting fund supported through fixed percentage contributions from institutions such as NACTA, NACIT, among others. The reforms also seek to strengthen editorial independence and public service mandates through the creation of regional advisory board aimed at promoting decentralization and semi-autonomy for regional broadcasting operations. Stakeholders noted that the reform could pave way for a more independent and sustainable public broadcaster, free from excessive parliamentary control. Minister of Information and Civic Education Chernoba commended the initiative and pledged government support for the reform process, acknowledging existing challenges while describing the review as an important step toward long-term solutions.
SLBC challenges. We need to overcome these challenges. These reforms lay the blueprint for us to do that, and we can do this together.
The president of the Sierra Leone Association of Journalists, Alhaji Manika Kamara, emphasized that the reform process should not only focus on structural changes, but also prioritize the welfare of media practitioners.
We are not only focusing on structural reforms. For us, it's that we are also concerned about the welfare of reforms. So I will encourage everybody here to pay attention keenly to the areas of the welfare. Because if we only focus on the structural reforms and forget about the welfare, the area of independence will be questioned.
Chairperson of the Sierra Leone Broadcasting Corporation Board of Trustees, Dr. William James, described the engagement as timely and encouraged participants to approach the discussion with seriousness and commitment.
The board, management and staff, we are happy that MRCG is coming to the conclusion of this whole process today. We know the work that SLBC does in Sierra Leone, and we know the importance of the state broadcaster innovation. And we all know that the state broadcaster, in the packaging of their work, in the presentation of what they do, they have to be fair.
MRCG coordinator Dr. Francis Sowa said the stakeholders' engagement carefully examines government structures, board independence, and a reporting mechanism as part of efforts to strengthen public broadcasting in Sierra Leone.
Things around sources of funding for the SLBC is a serious problem. When we make recommendations and the funds come in, we expect the public service broadcaster to improve in its output. Things around the infrastructure, there are recommendations around that. Things around the welfare of the members of staff. So the whole reform is a package. It's a package that addresses governance issues, infrastructural issues, financial issues, and welfare issues. And definitely, one would think that when all of these things are done, the end point is to see a viable and a sustainable public service broadcasting that serves the public's interest.
Several participants praised MRCG for leading the reform initiative and called for collective support to ensure that the proposed bill is passed into law. According to Dr. Soa, following the validation process, the draft document will be presented to Parliament for further consideration and approval. For SLBC, Moses Conte.